And now for your sports news, we're joined by NTD's Dave Martin. Dave, plenty going on right now, but let's start in the NFL as Fox Sports has confirmed that Mark Sanchez will not return as an analyst while facing multiple charges after his alleged attack on a truck driver last month. Who will replace him?
Yeah, they're replacing him with another former NFL quarterback, Drew Brees. Now, Brees retired in 2020. He's eligible for the Hall of Fame in 2026, should be a shoo-in for that. This guy won a Super Bowl. He finished runner-up for the MVP 4 different times. Now, meanwhile, Sanchez has been off the air since that October 4th incident. Now, he's been released from the hospital after being stabbed during that incident, but has not addressed the allegations other than to say he's focused on his recovery. Now, his trial is set to start for December 11th. He faces a felony charge and 3 misdemeanors. He's currently free on bond. Now, meanwhile, the truck driver has claimed self-defense. He is suing Sanchez and Fox Sports for unspecified damages. So that's the latest in the case.
Does he have like a contract and a lot of money tied to it? Like, is that gonna get thrown out?
Well, you mean Sanchez?
Yes.
I assume so. I mean, I would assume there's some kind of, public image clause in the contract. Fox Sports just let out a statement very simply confirming that he no longer was working for them. I think they just want to put this matter behind them as far as possible. So we don't quite know all that, but for most of those public figures, that's what they have.
Probably working out the details.
Probably.
Well, moving to
basketball. Lawyers are busy at the moment, I'll say that.
Moving to basketball news, though, former NBA player Damon Jones, who was among those charged in the recent betting scandal, pleaded not guilty yesterday. When is he due back in court?
Yeah, November 24th is his next court date. There's a preliminary conference there with some other defendants in this trial, so about 2.5 weeks away. Now, Jones was charged in both sides of this. There was the allegations of rigged poker games and then the sports betting part. Jones played, though, 11 seasons in the NBA, was a very good shooter, played with LeBron James in Cleveland for a few years there. He's accused of selling non-public betting information, according to prosecutors. Specifically, LeBron James was injured and would miss this specific game in 2023 between the Lakers and the Bucks before the general public had that information. Now, in the poker scheme, prosecutors say Jones was among a number of former players used to lure innocent poker players, to the game. This is quite an eye-opening case overall, including some, well-known crime families. Although, I gotta say, I did not know the names of these crime families. I don't know about you, Tiff. I don't know anything about those. I felt a little left out when everyone said they knew these crime family names, but I didn't know them. Maybe you.
I still think it's crazy, like the whole story. Like what?
I know, it's a lot. Like the rigged poker games, allegedly they had those x-ray tables where you could, if the cards were down, so you could somehow see what everybody's hands was. And it sounded like, according to prosecutors, everybody was in on it except for the poor sucker that they lured to the actual game there. So it was quite a thing. To read the prosecutor's statement, it sounded like quite the game they had going on there.
Two versions of games.
Yes, 2 versions of games.
I want to switch gears to baseball, though, because a White House official confirmed today that President Trump has pardoned former MLB great Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story here. Strawberry says he got a call from Trump last night. Trump started talking about how great a baseball player Strawberry was, back in the 80s, especially with the Mets. And then he said he was granting him a full pardon from his past. Now, Strawberry, big star in the 80s, especially led the Mets to a World Series title. He was an 8-time All-Star, finished runner-up for MVP in 1988. Very, very popular, very successful player. In 1995, Strawberry was indicted for tax evasion. The following year, he was sentenced to probation after pleading no contest to charges of cocaine possession and soliciting a prostitute. He also was charged multiple times with violating the terms of his probation. Eventually spent 11 months in prison in 2003. But a White House official noted that Strawberry found faith in Christianity and has been sober for more than a decade and to become active in ministry. So a nice story here for Strawberry. If you were a sports fan at all in the 80s and 90s, you definitely knew who he was. The guy was 6'6". He hit some mammoth home runs. He's also very fast, too. So he was, everybody liked Strawberry, Tiff. I'll just tell you that, all right? I know you weren't around for that, but if you were, you would have liked the guy, all right?
All right, and quite the redemption arc there, too.
Yeah, redemption. It's a great story.
Looking at tomorrow's college football action, though, we have another full slate of games on the schedule. What matchups stand out to you?
Yeah, good question here. I've highlighted a few. We've got first one, 7th-ranked BYU is at number 8, Texas Tech. Now, this is the only game this weekend involving a pair of top 10 teams. It's also for control of the Big 12. Now, BYU is currently in first place with a 5-0 record. Texas Tech, meanwhile, right behind them at 5-1, tied with Cincinnati. Both teams already have wins over 13th-ranked Utah. That game starts at noon Eastern tomorrow. Then at 3:30, another couple good ones. 3rd-ranked Texas A&M is at 22nd-ranked Missouri. The Aggies are undefeated. They've got wins over Notre Dame and LSU. Missouri's only losses are to ranked teams Vanderbilt and Alabama. And at the same time, in the Big Ten, 9th-ranked Oregon is at number 20, Iowa. The Ducks are kind of a forgotten team, I feel like, right now. They're 7-1, ranked number 9. They only have one loss. Hawkeyes are actually tied with them for 3rd place in the Big Ten at 4-1 there. Then in the evening, 4th-ranked Alabama hosts LSU, 7:30 Eastern Time. Now, the Tigers are no longer ranked, but this has always been a good rivalry game, dating back to the years that Nick Saban would face his old team with Bama. I mean, he won titles at both schools there. Nick Saban, very good, by the way, Tiff. So those are the matchups tomorrow that I will especially be watching, when I'm not watching, Kansas and Kansas State. But unfortunately, they're not ranked, You have to be good to be ranked. So these are the good games, though, Tiff, all right?
So in other words, you have a packed weekend.
I have a very packed weekend, and the World Series isn't even over, and I'm still got a very packed weekend. So it ended just in time for me, all right?
Well, we're happy for you.
I know you are.
Dave, as always, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tiff.